Have you and your spouse already moved into separate homes, but not yet divorced? A long separation before your divorce might not be a good idea. Hi, I'm Max Ruthenberg-Marshall, attorney and founder of Porchlight. Today we're going to be talking about the risks of a long separation before divorce. Now, sometimes people have financial reasons for why they want to be separated but not actually formalize their divorce. There are tax benefits to married filing jointly. You can stay on your spouse's health insurance or they can stay on yours. And depending on the real estate market, you might be concerned about selling your current home or concerned about buying a new home. So yes, there are some financial incentives sometimes, but the biggest reason that I see people have a long separation before getting divorced is apathy. Once people have moved out of their shared home and separated their lives, and they're not tripping over each other every day, they lose a lot of their urgency to go through with the divorce process. If you don't know what the risks are, you might just think everything's going along okay and not realize what complications you could be creating for yourself in the future. The biggest risk to a long separation before divorce is financial. Everything you or your spouse acquires during the marriage, whether it's an asset or a debt, is marital. This is true even if it is held in your individual names. It is still considered a marital asset or marital debt. That means it's divisible between both of you at the time of divorce. So if you're being extremely diligent and saving for retirement now that you know that you're only going to have one income to base your retirement savings on, and you're trying to prepare for that to retire as a single person, your spouse could end up getting a large chunk of your retirement account at the time of divorce. On the flip side, if your spouse is being irresponsible and racking up a ton of credit card debt, you may be required to pay some of that debt at the time of divorce. So the best solution is to actually go through with the divorce, create that financial separation so your and your spouse's assets and debts are separate and no longer marital. Another financial risk is that your respective financial situations could change, and this can affect child support or spousal support. You and your spouse may have an informal agreement about how much support will be paid. But if the paying spouse suddenly stops paying, without a court order, there's no way to enforce that agreement. So to get a court order for spousal or child support, you'd need to go through the divorce process. The other thing is that if your financial situation has improved significantly and your spouse's financial situation has worsened, you could end up paying more alimony or child support by the time you actually go through the divorce. Another risk to a long separation before divorce is that spouses move. This is just a normal part of life. They might move somewhere else in the state, but they might move out of state. And if someone's no longer in your life regularly, you can lose track of where they are. If you can't find your spouse at the time of divorce, which does happen more often than you would think, it creates more complications for the divorce process and drags out the divorce process. Another risk related to moving is that your spouse might file for divorce in their new state, and you may end up having to travel to that state for litigation. Finally, although people really don't like to think about it, if you die while you're still married, you could be creating problems for your heirs. If you die while you're married, your spouse has certain rights to your estate. That's probably not what you intend if you're not actually living together as a couple with this person anymore. So you want to complete the divorce so they don't have those rights. Additionally, your heirs might not realize that you never actually completed the divorce, because if you're living separate, they may just assume, oh, you actually got divorced. This can create a lot of conflict and family drama, which is probably not what you want to leave your heirs with. Now, a short separation before divorce is not necessarily bad. In fact, there can actually be some benefits. But we're talking more like 2 to 3 months here, nothing too long. The reason there can be some benefits is spouses who get along well enough that they can move into separate homes and sort out the logistics and finances of their lives tend to resolve many of the issues amongst themselves that would otherwise be resolved in the divorce process. So when they do go through with the divorce, it is a simpler process. This is especially true for couples who have worked out an informal custody schedule and had a few months to test it out and see if it works well for their family. If you're already agreed on custody and you know the schedule works, then that will simplify the divorce process. Whether you're recently separated or have been separated for 20 years, Porchlight can help simplify the divorce process. Give us a call. We're here to help.